You're listening to Your Purpose and Business podcast, where we connect you to possibilities. I'm your host, Raquel Walters, a two-time best-selling author, millennial speaker, corporate trainer, advocate, and clinical social worker at heart. Your Purpose and Business podcast will connect you with everyday successful people who will share their impactful stories, insights, challenges, failures, and triumphs on how they're navigating the working world, whether by climbing the 9-to-5 corporate ladder or starting, growing, and scaling their business. So grab your pen and notebook because you'll want to implement the nuggets and tools, strategies shared in every episode. Class is in session. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Your Purpose and Business podcast. My name is Raquel Walters. I'm your host, and I have the lovely pleasure of introducing Nimi Bello on our show today. So, Nimi Bello is an agility champion, consultant, and CEO and founder of Lincoln Power. As a woman of color in tech, her goal is to empower women of different backgrounds to live out their purpose by promoting the agility mindset. As a certified scale agilist and scrum master, she believes in building, adapting, and enhancing individuals, small businesses, and software development teams. Welcome to our show, Nimi.
Thank you so much, Raquel. Always a pleasure connecting with you.
Awesome. Thank you. You're very welcome, Nimi. So tell us a little bit about this agility champion, consulting and this agilist and scrum master mindset, because, you're a woman of purpose. And this is one of the reasons why I was eager to have you on the Your Purpose and Business podcast. And thank you for, definitely agreeing to come on. But tell us, what is this mindset that you're talking about? Because I know that the audience wants to know.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. And okay, so when we talk about the agility mindset, it's basically that it is a so I got into the Agile Scrum industry a little over 5+ years now. And even though it's something that a lot of people hear about in the tech industry or in the tech space or as it relates to development team, one of the things that I'm doing and I'm really focusing on is the fact of people can also apply the same mindset into their day-to-day. So Agile is about an iterative approach to getting work done faster. It's about flexibility. It's about evolving. It's about building and collaborating, which is one of the reasons through Lincoln Power. I started Lincoln Power for that reason, because I saw that, Black women, women of color, women of minority background needed a space where they could have a support system, a community, collaboration over versus competition. So if you think about Agile and what Agile says, so there's a set of principles, 12 principles and 4 values that basically are key drivers and key initiatives for adapting the agility mindset. So when you think about that, it's about, getting work done faster. So that's how basically in correlation to Lincoln Power, Agile Bay even came about. So Agile Bay is basically like my other persona on Instagram. And Bay stands for Build, Adapt, Enhance. And it's just a fun way to get people to understand and to learn more about Agile and agility mindset.
No, that's amazing, and I definitely like the BAY, the acronym for that. That's amazing, and definitely dive further into why is it that you wanted women to connect, to collaborate under this agility mindset, because there's a lot of competition out there, which you mentioned a little bit.
Yeah.
But, why is it that it was a part of your mission to incorporate that into bringing women together in business?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I just feel like, for me personally, being a woman of color in the tech industry, I've had my set of challenges, and being in a male dominated white industry predominantly, and especially with what I do as a Black agilist, there are not a lot of people that look like me in this space. It's mostly a lot of white male, older white male at that. So when I first came into this space, even as you can see, I'm wearing my braids. And that's just because it took time for me to kind of get comfortable in this space. So my goal is to be my true authentic self so that other women can feel encouraged to come into this space, because it is a good opportunity. It is a good field for you to kind of build your career in, especially with my background being in sales. I was never a coder or engineer, or I'm not even a technical expert. I don't consider myself as such, but I work along and partner with engineers every single day, and I'm able to add value and help them through being an agilist, which is what I do my day to day. So I use my platforms to encourage other women, and not even only women, even some men also, for them to know that there is a space for them, especially in the tech industry, because tech is only going to get bigger. It's getting bigger. It's not going to go anywhere. And people need to know that you can build a career in this space as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you touched on it a little bit because you said you've been in this space for 5 years,
Yeah.
and prior to that, you have sales experience. And you did speak on, there's few minority, especially in this field. But my question for you, I'm very curious, Nimi, how does this all tie into your purpose? When did you sort of think that you needed to pivot from sales into tech? And what were some of, if you could let us in on some of the thought processes that you have, or did somebody say, hey, Nimi, you need to look here? Like, what was it for you that you decided to pivot?
Honestly, that's a really good question, because I think for me, it was more of I wanted to challenge myself, because I knew that there was something more out there for me more than sales. And I just didn't know what that thing was. For years, I struggled with that, battled with it. But I think after I had my son, I got my certification when I had my first son. I was pregnant with my son when I started getting my CSM, my Certified Scrum Master certification, excuse me. For those of you that don't know the acronyms, I'm going to try to break it down, because we are notorious in the tech industry for using acronyms. But when I got my Certified Scrum Master certification, I didn't have a lot of resources. I basically, did a lot of studying my own, a lot of research. I did have one or two people that I would contact, but they were also new in this space and minorities like myself. So a lot of what I had learned was just, being in sales. It's like, I knew how to pitch, I knew how to talk to people, I knew how to sell. So I took some of those soft skills into this space as being somebody in the tech industry. And one of the things that I realized where I could add value is because I do have end user experience. I knew Salesforce. And in the tech industry, you'll notice that most people mostly have a technical background or they're business heavy. I now have both. So I'm able to identify and have conversations with stakeholders from a business perspective. I'm able to partner with engineers and have conversations from a technical perspective. I was now able to create my lane. And I think when I identified that I created my lane, I've always had this urge and this itch to serve people. Service is very, very important and near and dear to my heart. And I feel like God put me on this earth to be a bridge and to be a connector, which is what inspired Lincoln Power Platform. And I think Lincoln Power Platform, I started noticing that there's still a need to bring myself into a space of representing Black women in tech, and that's through Agile Bay, which is why I separated that initiative from Lincoln Power. Just because, again, I was on Clubhouse speaking, people will reach out to me. I'm like, hey, you're a Scrum Master? Wow, that is so amazing. I've never seen a Scrum Master that looks like you. I have 20-something-year-old girls, reaching out to me that are about to graduate from college. And it just makes me so happy that they're able to identify with a woman that like myself, which is why strategically I've been wearing my braids for that reason, because I do want people to identify and know that you can be yourself in this space and create your own path. Because the way I came into this industry wasn't through having a software engineering degree, a programming degree, even a coding experience or a background. I'm a comm major, and I specifically focus on organizational communication. So basically everything that I've ever done in my backgrounds and my past has basically helped me to kind of pivot and get into the space also as well.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So would you say, Nimi, that on your path to finding your purpose, have you found it, or you're still on the journey? And I know it's a big question,
Yeah.
but break it down for us, please. Where are you at in the journey?
I honestly, I feel like I'm evolving every day. And I think the best way for me to describe it is I'm currently evolving. now know my purpose, and I'm now comfortable in the space of allowing God to come in and lead my path. But I also give myself room to evolve and grow. And I just think that that goes back into alignment with why I'm such a strong advocate of the agility mindset, because agility mindset does give you room to inspect and adapt. It give you room to build yourself. It does give you room to enhance who you are, which is why it goes back again, Bay, build, adapt, enhance, which is why I started promoting Agile Bay in that light, because I do want people to know that it's okay for you to have a plan. That plan can change. Agile is all about flexibility. Agile is all about being able to pivot, being able to scale, being able to fail to scale also. So I think for me, I'm still in a state of just constantly evolving, and I'm giving myself the grace to also do so continuously.
Yeah, I love your answer to that, because especially in society now, millennials, so many different generations, a lot of millennials, they think that things should happen right away. It's sort of this microwave society. And
Absolutely.
hearing you how you explain, what the agility mindset is, it gives you room for growth, for failures, for lessons, on your journey to whatever it is, whether it is elevating in corporate, switching jobs,
Yes.
going back to school, getting a new certification, or starting and growing a business. For you though, Nimi, it's amazing how you were able to use your skill sets that you have, the knowledge that you have from sales, transition that into the tech industry, and how it is that now you're using both worlds, business and tech, to you have your own consulting business, and also you have your community of women, which is under Link Empower. So for the audience, please let us know a little bit more about Link Empower, what it stands for, its mission, and then I want to ask you some other questions as it relates to how did you get started, pretty much. But just give us an overview of Link Empower community.
Yes, absolutely. So Link Empower is a woman empowerment networking platform. And Raquel, I want to say thank you for all your support. From the beginning, I feel like, you've basically watched us expand and scale and grow. And we're not even a year, so Lincoln Power, we are a women empowerment networking platform, and we are there to love, inspire, and network all for the kingdom. And I get this question a lot, like, why the kingdom? Yeah. Because all of those three things, love, inspire, and networking, it's a full circle. That is what I believe God's kingdom looks like. God wants us to love each other. God wants us to inspire each other. God wants us to also network, collaborate, and partner with each other, all for his glory. So even though a lot of us in this platform are women of faith, and we're Christians, we also do have some of our Muslim sisters and brothers that support our platforms too. And that's what I love about this brand and this platform, because it brings people together as a collective. We're there to support each other, business together, elevate each other, empower each other, uplift each other. So there's definitely different layers of this platform, and it continues to expand and continues to grow. I'm so glad that now we're able to utilize things like Clubhouse to really, really build out the brand and build out the platform. And I love that we've been able to do a conference this year that was more so focused around doing business and teaching women how to start, grow, and sustain a business also. So we do a lot of different things, but we're mostly a collective. Our mission is to bring people together, to network, and to empower women, and also focusing on the spiritual and purpose-driven conversations too as well.
That's amazing, and you're very welcome. Anything that has to do with community and uplifting and empowering, especially our minority women, I'm all for it. Because years ago I wish that I had a community like the one that you have. Yes. So thank you for creating that, which leads me into the next question, Nimi. Where did this Link Empowerment come about? I mean, through your experiences, why did you feel that you needed to carry that torch and birth,
Yeah, I think honestly, it's just God. That's the best way to describe it, is God, and having the moment of stillness in this pandemic to be obedient. Because I do feel like for years, God has always given me this assignment being a bridge and being a connector. And I think because of this, worldly distractions, I didn't have the time to execute. So when the pandemic hit, I found myself longing for community, longing to build, relationships, connect with people. And I think it's been hard for everybody, for friendships, for people to, better connect. And for me, I know a little bit of different people just because I'm inquisitive. I always want to know what people are doing, what people are working on, trying to plug people in, trying to make people partner, collaborate. And I remember one of my friends was like, you know everybody, like you literally know people in different industries. Have you ever thought about like starting like a network? And for me, I didn't identify that as a gift the longest time. I was like, yeah, you're supposed to know how to network. You're supposed to know how to, introduce yourself to people. And I think because I had that expertise from being in sales, over time, I built that muscle, especially, with networking early on in college. Like I was fortunate enough to have a job 3 months before I graduated from college.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
And most people can't say that. Most people are in college and they're 6 months back at home. I graduated from college a week later. I started working. So I didn't have that whole college experience of, post-college grad life where I'm just relaxing 6 months in my parents' couch and all that stuff. I don't know what that life looks like because of the power of networking. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I want to do through the Lincoln Power platform is to mentor up and coming college students on the importance of networking, the art of networking. It's really important to be able to place yourself, have your elevator pitch ready, and tell and inquire about what people are doing or what they can also offer you. And not even only that, just building solid long-term relationships also as well.
Yeah, that is amazing because it's well needed, Nimi, because a
Absolutely.
lot of people don't even know how to network.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The fear of getting rejected, probably not knowing what to say, when they're meeting somebody that's new, and how to really be themselves. It's not so much sale, but be themselves. Yep. And to explain what they're about with clarity, right? And so it's amazing that you were able to create Link Empower, and I've seen the many women that you've helped over a year now, yeah. And having your first conference, and I know there's going to be many more to come, because yes. Everyone, whether you are in business or whether you every day working, going about your daily life, we all need to learn how to network, right? Yes. And so it is very important that you learn how to do so, and you definitely want to link up with Nimi, especially within her community, Link Empower. I am a part of it. It is amazing, and I think you should too as well. So Nimi, I know the audience is listening and they're wondering, oh my gosh, where does she find time to, for her personal life, but in it separate from your personal life, I wanted to address that later on, but I'm just curious, and I'm sure they're curious. What were some of the challenges that you faced? Because a lot of times we see, the successes, especially in the social media world, but a lot of times persons don't see the day-to-day behind the scene work. Were there any significant challenges or barriers faced in creating your consulting business and also creating Link Empower community?
Oh, absolutely. I have challenges every single day. But I think for me, one of the things that I'm learning to do is to let God be the CEO. Let God be my CEO, let him be the driver, let him be the one, the strategist, all that, because you can get into the habit of, you have your own timelines, you have your own deadlines. But one of the things that I have learned early on is to trust God and trust the vision that he has given me. I think in the beginning, a lot of my challenges was I was depending on people to get my vision. And it caused me a lot of pain points, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of frustrations, because I had expectations, because I know how I am when people bring their ideas to me, their vision to me. So I had to learn early on to just rely on God. Every challenge, every win, every success, I ultimately give it back to him, because, he's been the full force behind this. He's been the full driver. So I know that, when I don't pray and talk to him, I know it's time to go back. I know when it's time to go back because I can see myself kind of getting derailed or discouraged or having that moment of uncertainty. But what I've really learned is to be true to who I am and whose I am. So I think for me, from that standpoint, I'm confident and I know that I can do anything. Just because I'm allowing God to basically be the captain of the ship. And sometimes I kind of sit down and I talk to him like, "Yo, you want me to do Agile Bay? You want me to do Lincoln Power? How?
Mm-hmm.
How God? How do you want me, little me, to do all this stuff? Like I have a lot going on already, God. I don't want no more." And I feel like God literally just looks at me and just laughs, like, "You do this overnight."
Right.
A blueprint. So how about you let me be the one to decide how it's gonna go and not try to be in control?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have to stick to the vision, right? The vision has to carry us. Even
Absolutely.
on days when you don't understand, you don't know, what's gonna happen. But for one thing, I know, and I know you know this to be true as well. God always have a way of aligning you or putting the right people or the right information in front of you, as long as you keep the faith and keep on, taking the action, moving forward.
Right.
Right. And so Nimi, share with us like three strategies or steps that you probably implemented, whether knowingly or not, that
Mhm.
have supported you along your path, to realizing this phase in your life where you are a woman in tech, a woman of God, but you also have your consultancy business, and you also have your empowerment community, where you want to share more knowledge, be an inspiration to other women, to let them know that you have the power within you to create really a life that you desire. If you can think of three things that has
Yeah.
supported you, please share it with us.
One, it definitely has to be, giving things to God, like letting God be the driver. If you don't have a strong faith, I strongly suggest that you allow God to lean in and even tell you if what you're chasing after is what He wants you to focus on. I think that's a good place to start. Definitely after that, agile.
Yeah.
The agility mindset is basically what has helped me to be successful in what I'm doing. I'm only 8 months in doing entrepreneurship. You can do it too. You just got to be thinking from I want to work smart as opposed to I want to work hard. I think as women of color, we have this narrative that I have to do everything myself, and we have to stop thinking like that. I think once we start thinking, who can I work with and partner with to excel in what I am doing? I think that should be the mindset, which is why agile for me is really really important, because agile does support collaboration, does support teamwork. And I think the third thing for me that's really been helping me is I'm fortunate and I'm blessed to have women in my corner that have poured their gifts, their heart into the Lincoln Power brand, and even just calling me and saying, "Hey, I see what you're doing. How can we work together?" So I think, having people that are like-minded in your corner also does help a lot to propel some of your purposes and your dreams too as well.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. I know for the audience, they're probably thinking, I hear you, Nimi, all of that, having faith, sticking to the vision, which are all true and all valid.
Right.
Definitely, having that agility mindset. For you though, for someone listening to this and wanting to start out, to start their business, and they're not really sure where to look, what recommendations or advice would you give them, as an entryway to
Right.
starting out their business?
Join Lincoln Power. Join our platform. I think I'm a firm believer in each one reach one. If you join our platform, that motivation, that support that you need, that community is there. That's why we create this platform exists. It's there as a support system so that you don't do this by yourself. You don't do it alone. So again, it goes back to what I was talking about earlier, where I feel like women of color, we've been conditioned to think that I need to do it on my own. I need to struggle to do X, Y, Z. And we have to start building ourselves as women and start reaching out to other women. If you're not good with networking, guess what? Start joining community, start connecting. Even if you don't want to join Link Power, there are so many other networking platforms that you can be a part of and really, really start to see how you can build yourself, build your confidence. I think it starts with self-awareness, like knowing who you are, and being around the people that's going to pull out who you are also and help you to build that confidence that you may be lacking also as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think you touch on the next question that I wanted to ask you, but if you have any further thoughts, please do share. Where, I think for the past probably 2 or 3 years, could be a little bit longer, but all you were seeing on Instagram, even pre-COVID, was, oh, women empowerment brunches, this, that, and the third, to the point where it sort of got watered down to the point where some persons, maybe not all, I can't speak for all, but believe that it's just about rah motivation and then that's it. Yeah. I mean, I know Lincoln Power is different, and you touched on the reasons why, but if you want to expand further, please kind of shed more light on why it's important to join community, and make sure that you're very intentional about which specific community you're joining based on your needs.
Yeah, I feel like, you need like-minded individuals around you, especially when you're in business. I feel like in the entrepreneurship journey, it can be a very dark place because sometimes you don't know how it's going to go, right? You take risks, sometimes calculated, sometimes strategic, sometimes you're just doing it because you're like, oh, that's what I think. But in order for you to be successful, I don't know any successful person that has said, I did it all by myself. If you can find that person for me, please call me. Please
call me too.
Please DM me. I have never heard of any successful person that has boldly stated, I did it on my own. If you look at people like Beyonce, we're talking about Oprah's, the top successful people out here in this world, even the Rihannas, the list goes on and on. Even Jesus Christ had disciples. Like, the list goes on and on.
Yes.
You look at it from that perspective, there is nobody that has ever said, I'm successful all by myself. So why would you want to think that you're going to be successful all by yourself? You need the right people in your camp to push out your greatness. It's been proven time and time again. They have articles, data, whenever you see people giving their speech, they always refer back to their team. I just mentioned here, you asked me 3 things. I talked about my faith with God, I talked about agility mindset, and I talked about teamwork, because everything that you are seeing about all of my brands and what I am doing with all my platforms, there are people behind me that are pouring into my vision and watering my vision every single day. So that's why I said, come join Lincoln Power, because there are like-minded individuals in this platform that will help you. There are women constantly posting jobs every single day in the chat. There are women constantly praying for each other. We have our lunch break link-up prayers on Clubhouse, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and we pray with each other. We empower one another. We also have link-up Saturdays where we talk about how we connect other people for business reasons. So you need the right people in your camp to really be successful.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with everything that you say. Pretty much co-sign it all, because it is important. And I'm happy that you went further into expanding on, giving more education around why it's necessary to join a community like yours, like Lincoln Power, because oftentimes a lot of persons be like, oh, another empowerment, community, what value can I get from it? But you just shared with us why Lincoln Power is separate and different, and why you should join. So thank you for sharing that with us, Nimi.
Absolutely.
So shifting gears a little bit. Yes. Yeah, you're very welcome. Shifting gears a little bit, one might be wondering, how does Nimi find time for herself and her personal life, because she's doing all the things. So share with us some of your routines or rituals that you may have that you implement to just keep you grounded and balanced, so that you can have all that energy and wisdom to continue your business ventures.
Yeah, I'm very big on self-care. I think this year I take self-care very, very seriously, especially since I'm still a 9-to-5er. I work and I'm also a mom. I'm also a wife. So I am very intentional about putting myself first. And this is for all the moms out there. Like, please, please take care of yourself. It's so important as women. We do so much. We have so many different layers. We're so multidimensional. We want to do it all. But taking care of yourself is very important. Sometimes I lay around in my bed and do nothing.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean that my brain is not going off and firing off, in 10,000 different directions because, I'm a strategist. I'm always thinking of the next step, and one of the things that I'm also learning to do is to give myself grace. Myself grace, celebrating my wins. And I love a good girls, guys hangout, getting brunch, getting cute, getting dressed up, and just disconnecting and just having fun. I think that's something that I hold true to myself is to be very organic and very true to who I am. I'm 31 now, so I now know my identity. I've been able to really grow and evolve into the woman that I'm becoming to and growing every single day. So one of the things that I do is I try to spend time with God also, in the mornings, just read my devotional, creating those little habits to kind of, clear my mind and remove anxiety, remove stress and reduce stress. So one of the things, self-care, if that's going out to eat, going to the spa, going on some kind of shopping, that I need to stop doing that. Something to take care of myself just because I'm really learning the essence of loving on myself as a woman of color. I think it's so important. I'm so glad that now with COVID and the vaccines and everything happening, start traveling more and just start experiencing life because I work extremely hard.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm learning to do is while I work hard, I pamper myself even harder.
Yeah.
Means, going out, spending time with my friends, spending time with just even me, like solo. I did a solo trip this year and I enjoyed it. And I told myself, you know what, every quarter, I'm gonna make it a point of duty to do solo trips for myself. I'm outside of family, outside of friends. I'm just gonna start doing solo trips because I was able to kind of clear out my mind a little bit, disconnect, re-strategize, and come back recharged also as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I love it. So solo trips are important, and thank you for giving the permission to other women and also men that's listening too. That it's important to take some time out for yourself. Create
Absolutely.
what we call this sacred space. It doesn't mean that you have to go out of town, but take some time out for yourself. That's just you and your thoughts, and whatever it is that you want to do, pray, exercise, meditate. I mean, write down things in your journal, just so
Right.
that you can have that time with yourself, to really relax and to get clarity and to think through things. So self-care is important, of course.
Absolutely.
so so
Absolutely.
so Nimi, just let us know how the audience can contact you, and definitely be a part of the Link Empower and also work with you through your consulting services as well.
Yeah, thank you. So you can definitely connect with me LinkedIn, Nimi Bello. And you can also follow both of my social media platforms, Agile Bay, BAE, Agile BAE on Instagram. And you can follow my other business page, which is Link Empower, and linkenpower.com. So Link Empower on all social platforms. I think we are literally on all social media platforms. We have a LinkedIn, we got a YouTube, we have everything at this point. And you can connect with us. And we also are on Clubhouse too. So I have two clubs on Clubhouse. One of them is Lincoln Power, of course. And I also have Agility Mindset as well. So with Agile Bay, I'm currently working on my website currently. You can also, I get a lot of inquiries through emails. You can email me at consultagilebay@gmail.com. I get a lot of, email inquiries and even DMs. You can also DM me for any business opportunities, or if you have any needs for anything that I spoke about tonight. I'm pretty responsive. And I do have a social media manager for the Lincoln Power account. So feel free to reach out.
Awesome. And before I let you go, Nimi, is there a mantra or a scripture or something that you do that keeps you grounded each day, especially when it's a tough day?
Yeah, I think for me, Philippians 4:13 is a staple. And then there's one recently, I'm gonna read it to you. I
Yes.
actually have it pulled up here. James 1, 2 to 3 this week has been it for me.
Yeah.
Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. James 1, 2 to verse 3.
Wow, I love it, love it, love it. That's a scripture that should be like, you know,
Laminated, like
laminated there everywhere. Exactly, post-it notes everywhere,
right.
because we're all going through trying times now in our world, in our lives and businesses. But as long as we keep faith, we keep whatever it is that you do to have a balance, that's important. And not isolate, but be a part of communities that's going to support you, uplift
Yes.
you, and encourage you, such as the Lincoln Power. So Nimi, it's a pleasure and it has been an honor to talk with you today. I know that you have inspired so many women, especially more minority women, women in tech, women who aspire to go into tech, to say that, what, if she could do it, if she can pivot from sales into the tech industry, then I know that I can do it too, and I have a face that I can relate to. So thank you for that, and thank you for blessing us with the many lessons and gems that you have shared throughout this entire Your Purpose and Business
Absolutely.
podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor and a blessing to even be able to share my story. Like before, I just feel like nobody want to hear my story. Like, what's so interesting about what I do? But I do feel like it can be an inspiration, to a woman that especially looks like me to be like, wow, my dreams and my visions they're valid. I can do this. If she can, like, I'm a mom of two that at one point I was so lost in just being a mom. That's all I knew. And I think for me, it's important as a woman, especially with being a boy mom. I have two sons. It's important for my sons to see that a strong, powerful Black woman is good. It's good for them to see me in that light, just because I want them to see me in this light for the future, because I don't know what they're going to be witnessing 10 years from now. But I do want them to say that, I'm proud of my mom. She's so hardworking. I saw a hardworking woman in my life. And I want them to be able to have respect and not be so insecure as men seeing me in this light also as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Especially in a time such as this, they need to see that, and I'm sure that you'll continue to be a blessing to them and to everyone that comes into your path, because it's a part of your journey, it's a part of your purpose,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Yes. So, guys, as always, remember, be good to yourself, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you've loved this episode, let's stay in touch. Head over to raquelwalters.com and subscribe to my email list so that I can send you updates on new episodes, exclusive motivational nuggets, and insider knowledge that's only shared when you join our community. Please don't forget to subscribe to this podcast and leave a review, as I want to know your thoughts about every episode. Follow me on Instagram at Your Purpose and Business Podcast. And remember, your life is beautiful, and this is a part of your journey. So embrace it. Speak to you soon.